I'm Steve Rodgers. I am a band director and general music teacher. I teach K through 8 up in Scott County.
Hi there, my name is Shelly Higgins, and I have been a licensed educator for over 20 years now and spent close to 20 years in the classroom with regular education and ended with special education, working with juvenile offenders and students with learning disabilities.
Yeah, it's great to have you.
Thank you.
My name is David Hayes, as you know, running for City Council this year, City Council at Large, Seat B, and I want to expand my knowledge on what I can do to support the education system here in East Tennessee, and also want other people to realize what's going on. So I know one of the biggest issues in the state legislature this year were vouchers. So before we get into that whole saga, let's talk about what vouchers are exactly and the sort of damages and threats they pose to public schools and these public programs that we all adore and use.
There's only a very small segment of students who can actually afford to go somewhere else, even with a voucher.
The people that are going to have the ability to actually use the voucher and implement it towards their schooling are good people that are in comfortable middle class level. The poor just are not going to be able to make use of that because there aren't options.
And that's why we have public school, right?
Right.
People like to say, oh, it helps all of the students, the poorest ones, be able to have a school choice. But in reality, that's not what I've seen, because those are students who usually don't have transportation beyond the public school bus, so they don't have access to transportation to attend these private schools.
Now, so what do you see as the connection between education and gentrification in the city?
And what we've seen sometimes is like a charter school will move into an area, it'll starve the public area communities, starve the public schools, and so people that are the gentrified, individuals moving in will just send their kids to charter schools instead of the public schools. Like a charter school will enable gentrification. There's another kind of law that's obscure. It's a federal law, actually. It's called the New Market Tax Credit. A gentrifier in that kind of zone area, low-income zone area is what they've said, is can double their profit in 7 years. All of that kind of goes hand in hand with this displacing lower income, poor communities and communities of color.
Why would we be taking out money to help a few that could help so much more?
As a community and as a society, we've all agreed that that we pay taxes, and part of that money goes to public education, so everybody can have a good education. So private schools and charter schools kind of defeat that purpose. And not only that, this is also dynamic where our public schools, there's an elected school board. Right? We have a government that's accountable to us, right?
We don't want an appointed school board. We want an elected school board. And we don't need a state school board telling local schools what they need to do.
Do you have any more suggestions for me as far as when I get on city council, what are the things I should be advocating for when it comes to our public schools?
What I would love to see is an expansion of resources for community schools. I think we need more community school models in the city.
Ultimately, is the thing that you're doing improving the quality of life so that when the kid gets out of my school or any of my colleagues' schools, is that kid going to go home to a community where they can continue learning and growing?
The majority of our schools that have the highest at-risk population, every single thing that we do with those students needs to be trauma-informed.
49% of the impact on the kid was their home and community life. If that kid does not have supports, if they are living in trauma, then they're not going to achieve at that maximum ability that they should be and that they deserve to be.
Even a quick look at some of the discipline policies, they have some really draconian issues in terms of their policies for behavior. Not only does that not serve the students' best interests or needs, but in my opinion, it sets up that, pipeline to prison sort of route that we really want to try and get away from. So often a community, its identity is based around the schools that are in that community. And when you start to pull students out of their community schools and you send them to a private school or the vouchers or whatever, you start to erode some of the basic structure of that community.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been great to talk to you and learn from you. I'm sure that people looking at this video will also enjoy it and learn some lessons as well. So thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, David, it
Thank
was
you
so nice to talk to you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for letting me have this moment. This is great to be able to communicate this stuff.
Of course. Vote for a Knoxville for all and vote for David Hayes. Early voting is through October 31st, and Election Day is November 5th.